Hello, good evening, and welcome to the FB4 Daily. I know it's the 26th of December. I'm going to say it's Thursday because I've lost all reason as to what day it is, and that's mainly due to Christmas and drink. But Liverpool have put on a masterclass this evening at the King Power Stadium to run out 4-0 winners over Leicester. An unbelievable performance that we're going to have a look at over the next half an hour or so, myself and Peter, and hopefully Keith joining us as well. It was absolutely brilliant. Get on board, get your comments in, and we'll revel in this for the next hour because it was just one of those performances that you sit back and you think, you know what a fucking team. This is brought to you by Paddy Power. A bookie's a website and an app. If you gamble, please gamble responsibly and try to do so with Paddy Power. Let's go. And here we go. Leicester City 0, Liverpool 4 from the King Power Stadium. Immediate enough reaction. The game finished about 25 minutes ago. But Peter, you're with me tonight and we're having a little chat off air before we come on, and it was perfection, wasn't it? From absolute start to finish, it was perfection.
Stunning. I think a lot of people put too much stock in the fact that we've been travelling, and maybe that's played into our hands. We've just, as you and I were saying off air, in order for fitness to be a factor, you've got to be without the ball. So it's clear. We get on it, we get on the front foot, the press was high, make it difficult, because you must remember Brendan Rodgers is still instilling that play it out from the back. With the changes of personnel since Harry Maguire has gone at Leicester, it's still raw, it's still new. So we took advantage of that. And to be honest with you, we probably could have been 3 up after 5 certainly after 10, 12 minutes. But, it's just, at one stage we were saying off air, I think I seen Virgil van Dijk occupying the inside left position after nearly 70 minutes. It's just phenomenal performance, start to finish.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. The comments are flying in here. People, I will get to your comments. I will keep up as much as I can with them. Throw them in there, your reaction to this game. Shaq says, good evening, gents, masterclass. Sisifo Mbele says, Alisson should bring a book to games if we're going to play like that. Dave's LFC chat says, best performance all year. Shaq says, I was very, very nervous before the game. Shaq, you need to stop that, man. I've told you how this is going to go down. Mick says, on one of the pods in the last international break, I said I expected to be 13 points clear on the 4th of January 2020. Mick, it's looking like that. It's absolutely looking like that, and it could be absolutely more. Great to have you back, Mick. I haven't seen you the last little while. Dave says Alisson had Kindle in his gloves. He got to read 4 chapters today. Lincoln Rex says, happy Christmas, Peter Smith from Wynn, currently in Drimna and having a fuck Vardy party.
No worries. Yeah, top man winner.
Okay, but look, let's go back to the start, right? People there have mentioned being nervous. There was a massive build up to this game, and as usual, Peter, it was one of those where it felt like the whole of British football, or English football anyway, was saying, please let Leicester get something off these. One, for the media to have a title race that they can get their teeth into, and 2, it's just Liverpool, isn't it? It was
Look,
one of those.
let's put this to bed. The only bit of banter that rival supporters have over Liverpool is the fact that, since football was invented in 1992, Liverpool haven't won the Premier League. So can you imagine, watching Liverpool put these trophies away, put all of these hoodoos to bed, and then having no banter over Liverpool? That's the nightmare. I mean, it's not.
The biggest thing.
There's this illusion out there. Oh, everyone hates Liverpool. Rest assured they don't. It's a fear thing. I mean, you only have to look at Manchester United. Wan-Bissaka, I think he put an assist in today, and then Trent goes out and does something like that.
Yeah, I want to get the Trent in depth. But it was just. But looking, people were going on about the lineup. Then, what way would we do this? I think most would agree at Alisson. The back 4 maybe will stay the same. What would he do in midfield? Would he do something up front because of we being away in Qatar winning World Club Cups? He just went with the strongest team he could, and he decided, Peter, didn't he, from the start, that I'm not going to see what Leicester have here. I don't care if Leicester are tired, because Rodgers had a look at that and spoken a little bit that prior to the Man City game about resting players. He basically went out and said, we are this team and we are going to control this, and we're not going to let them get involved in this game.
Liverpool we're not good at being tentative. I think the last time we blew a big opportunity was home to Chelsea. We were feeling them out, when Brendan Rodgers was in charge in the famous slip by Steven Gerrard. That day we were tentative. The new mentality is, listen, let's just go for the throat early doors. Doesn't matter if we miss chances, but we will dominate possession. As I said, defenders occupying inside right and inside left positions. This is, forget about masterclass. It's the mentality of, we're going to get at you. And you're not going to have it. It's going to be the longest 90 minutes of your life.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Keith may be joining us, and I'm going to try to get him on the line now in a couple of minutes. So if anyone hears any kind of Skype stuff going on, it's just me trying to ring Keith. But I'll bring the next point to you. And someone said it there, like, there's loads coming in. Northred says the media are a disgrace. Mark Sprule says men against boys, lads, men against boys. Carl Duff, absolute masterclass. Our passing was class. Skill Leicester, who simply had no response. Liverpool Chris says, good evening, gents. Incredible performance. Northred straight back in again. Keita had a great game. Hendo Imperious. Trent the Joint. There's loads of names we can go through here with regards to great performances. Gomez back and clean sheets coming all over the place, says Lincoln Rec. Kev says the switch of play by Hendo all night was an unbelievable masterclass in deep lying playmaker. Jer Cahill just says, all right, lads, we are more than all right, Jer. Get the cans in. Mick says Trent reaching special levels. The only weakness today was Salah's grades. But we let that go. Champagne
That's why you
football,
get the goals. Yeah.
Champagne football even after the festive period, says Byrne. Liverpool versus everybody, it's too easy now. Seriously, this team is meant to be a contender. Leicester in brackets. Yeah, they were meant to be a contender. But how impressed were you by Liverpool? Because we've spoken how they go out and they've decided to control that. But Leicester are a decent side, and Liverpool, to control a game, you have to go kind of forward to control a game. But even when they were controlling it and going forward as a unit, they were pressing so well, weren't they? And they weren't even giving Leicester that chance of getting a second on the ball in midfield to look for them balls down the channels.
I think the big statement really is, if you look at how deep James Maddison was and how frustrated he was throughout the 70 or so minutes he spent on the park. I mean, he had to be taken off because he would have been sent off, frustrated, going around kicking people. He could have been booked twice or three times, to be honest. It's not damning on him, but he just wasn't given the freedom. Liverpool so well. What no Liverpool team has really done in the past is they suffocate these. Just the game, everyone just splits, and it just becomes an open nightmare. That's when fitness comes into it, because Leicester players chasing and I could see, if you look towards the end, the big centre back that they're all making a fuss of, he got so frustrated at 4-0. He actually went on a little merry with about 5 minutes to go and ran from his box into ours. You could see that's from just from chasing shadows. Liverpool are, as I said, suffocating games and not allowing teams to express themselves. Maddison was case in point.
Yeah, there was a lot of them that they did get frustrated. Keith, you're with us now?
I am indeed, yeah. How's it going, folks?
I'm presuming you're just back from the pub, so I'm going to allow the fact that you're late. You will not be getting any sort of lines or detention or anything like that. Keith, we've just been speaking there about how Liverpool came out, how they decided just to control this game from the start and not even consider what Leicester were at. How impressed were you by the start of the game?
I have to say now, it's after blowing me away, because I'm always confident with this team, but that game, controlled from start to finish, was unbelievable. It's probably the best performance I've seen on the clock. Yeah,
it's
best performance I've seen.
It's up there. It is up there. There's no doubt about that. But it's kind of hard to put into words, because there was a lot of people going into this, Keith, and they were saying to themselves, I take a draw now after being away in Qatar.
Yeah.
Does it not just push? I suppose, like, we all love this football team, but does it not just push them up another notch, if that's possible, in your estimation, that they went tired? Ask me bollocks. I'll show you. And, could you not be more proud of them? I know you're proud of this football team, but to go out and see, for everyone to be clinging on to that little bit of hope that Liverpool will come back from Qatar tired, to go out and put on a performance like that was ridiculous, to be quite honest with you.
Exactly. It is ridiculous, because the one worry I had was the tiredness, right? Because I said it on the pod the other night. We usually come back a bit sluggish from these warm weather breaks, but it was yourself that pointed out, Gav, that they play games over there in Qatar, so it's not like they were arsing about on push bikes or anything. They were going to hit the ground running, but I really didn't expect that they take the second place team in the league, not the second place team in the league, and they would absolutely leg them all over the park. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see the player ratings tonight, because if any of them players got less than a 9 out of 10, I'll eat me hat, because they were all from... Mo was a bit shoddy, actually, now that I think about it.
Someone did mention his grade earlier on, just before you came on.
I don't know what it is with him now. He's been well, you know. I'm not going to lash him over because he's done well in the games leading up to this. But I was surprised to see that he couldn't put the bleeding afterburners on against Soyuncu a few times before he got the poorly fingered and got pulled off. But other than that, Jesus, Gini Wijnaldum, Naby Keita, Jordan Henderson. My Jesus, that midfield was unreal tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unreal.
Kev says he agrees with the baby. There's a baby in the background of money, as I think it's Peter. But
she always knows. She always knows.
Well, listen, she's just happy with the fact Liverpool have won, and if the baby wants to be on the pod, she probably makes more sense than most of us. So that's fair enough. Yussi says one of the players of the match was Sunchi, and they lost 4-0. That tells you a lot. PW says I'm just listening to Klopp's interview. He's talking about the next block of games and the things we need to work on. I love that man. Ray Brady just shouts Gavler, the usual standard stuff. Ray, how are you? Ray is most definitely in a pub somewhere. That's what he does for Christmas, and I love him for it. Yussi says that Trent was phenomenal. Schmeichel just said that we are best team in the world, says Not Red. Kev O'Sullivan says on the back of playing extra time and humidity to put that performance in is a testament to the fitness coach. It's a absolute massive statement. But on the game itself, Peter, you were saying to me beforehand, if you look at it, first 70, 80 seconds of the game, we have 2 shots on target. I looked at half time, we had 8 shots to Leicester's 0 in the first half. We just made our intentions very well known from very early on. Do you think it's true, Leicester? Because they just looked shell-shocked from the very start of the game. They weren't expecting this at all.
Perhaps, you know, as I said, Brendan is a very prepared guy. Obviously, you know, he did a great job with us, and I think he's just expecting us to be a little more tentative than we were, to try and feel them out a little bit more, and maybe to pay them a little more respect than we did. You know, obviously, you should always expect the Liverpool onslaught. However, they looked, as you said, a little bit shell-shocked by our energy. You know, and it's very, very difficult, even if you're prepared to deal with that energy level. It reminded me very much of the Barcelona game. We just decided to outrun them, outthink them, outbattle them. You know, it was that type of game. It could have been 6 or 7. You know, not just, you know, on the goals front, because I thought we missed a lot of straightforward chances. If I'm honest, in the first half. However, in all departments away from home, we just took them to the cleaners, to be honest.
Yeah. Razor just says, stay in your lane, Leicester. Stay in your lane. Liverpool versus everybody says it's lovely to see Naby in this form. When's the last time you looked at our squad and couldn't see a weak link? Look, if you're watching this on YouTube, please just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. You know, all the usual stuff. But it does help us. It helps more people get in here. It helps to spread the word about the podcast. So if you hit the like button, subscribe and stuff like that, it's really, really appreciated. If you're on Twitter, share it onto your timeline, and of course more people come in and watch all the time. Maverick says, ho ho ho, merry way we go. Who said Leicester were contenders? They are not at their level. Do you know what someone else asked earlier as well? Are Leicester actually that decent, or are we just that good? Leicester are very, very decent in my opinion. They've a really good young squad, but they were taught a lesson tonight, and I'm sure they've walked away thinking we've been taught a lesson, and they're 13 points off us and possibly 16 with a game in hand, and it's probably no disgrace because Man City, hail as the best team the world has ever seen, would be probably only 2 points ahead of them if that's the way it falls over the next couple of weeks.
Wilfred Ndidi was completely bypassed. He is their game plan. That's the linchpin. You don't pass him his energy. To be honest with you, I didn't see him. He was completely bypassed. It was high octane stuff. You know, I wouldn't be pointing the finger at Leicester. Leicester are, you know, Brendan is doing a fantastic job. You know, the players are. Jamie Vardy's 17 goals, although he was a passenger tonight. Yeah, it's just there's nothing you can do. We are witnessing something great. To be honest, you know.
A couple of points.
But on Vardy, there, lads. When was the last time he's been so anonymous in a game?
Well, do you know
what I mean? Like he wasn't allowed play.
It's very interesting you say that, though.
At the back.
It's very interesting you say that because a couple of points here I think explains it very well. Mark Sproul says Brendan Rodgers had them trying to play out past their high press, and they don't have the players for that. And Liverpool versus everybody says City painted the picture. You take their best player for them, Ndidi, out of the game by going out wide to Trent, and by taking their fella in midfield out of the game. That's the link. He's the link where he looks to get it to Tielemans and get it to Maddison, and then the ball goes, and it's Vardy, and that's why I think he was that's why he was so quiet. But for all the dominance we had, we needed to score. And, you know, as the game went on 20, 25, 30 minutes, I'm thinking the Reds need to possibly, you have to put something on the scoreboard here to make, you know, the dominance pay off, I suppose. And Keith, it comes from Firmino, and he's on a nice little run now. I'll say it.
3-3.
But say it quietly, but it is 3-3. And Keith, that man Alexander-Arnold just gets it out of his feet, and it's a superb ball, isn't it?
Oh, it's an unbelievable ball, and it's one of them, when you have that delivery out there that you can put in onto the head like that. And Bobby's very good in the air, very underrated in the air. But if you're putting balls like that in and you have players like Bobby or Sadio in there, they'll get on the end of that every time, and it's food and drink for them. Do you know what I mean? They see that coming in, bang, not a bother. Happy days all day long. Alexander-Arnold, he's absolutely outrageous. He's a generational player, and he's a right back.
Yeah,
for Liverpool.
And I'd never move him from there. I'm gonna nail my colours to the mast now. I would never move Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I agree with you 100% there, Gav.
I think he could go down as probably our best ever right back, or one of the best in the world has ever seen if he stays where he is. I genuinely believe that.
Well, we don't play traditional right and left back.
No,
it's with Liverpool. It's a 70-80 yard game from the full back position. So you're not restricted. It's not like arrows to midfield. Don't cross the halfway line. It's an 80-90 yard game. So ironically, you might be taking the running out of his. I mean, look at the run for his goal. As you said earlier on, from the moment Sadio Mane gets the ball, I don't even think Sadio Mane had a look to the right. He just knew he was going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
So, for me, you might, by putting him in the centre of the pack, you might be restricting him. So I get your point. I was a few weeks ago saying, let's buy a right back, get him into the middle of the park over the next 3 or 4 seasons. Yeah. But the way we play, the two lads are auxiliary right backs. It's almost like 3 at the back with Virgil. Certainly when Fabinho plays, with Virgil. Now it's Gomez, and when Fabinho was there, it's almost like an organised 3 with Trent and Alexander and Robbo, kind of auxiliary midfield player. So I completely agree with your point, and I see why you were making it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Avo says he's 53 years of age. He's seen all the greats at Liverpool, and he's just admitted to his 21-year-old son that this is the best Liverpool side he's ever seen. Mick asks, invincible, 100 plus points? ? We're the only team breaking 90 points this season, Mick. Write it down, fold it up.
No, hold on. Mick is spot on. Invincible's 100 plus points.
No, he's asking that, and that may come. That may come, but
that will come.
You won't need that. You won't need that. Trust me. We're the only team.
We will get it.
We're the only team this season breaking 90 points. Write it down, fold it up, put it away somewhere, and on the 17th of May, come back to me, and I guarantee.
But you do realise that'll be everybody's cup final to try and make sure Liverpool are losing a game.
We already have these cup finals because we've won 17 out of 18. We're cup finals already. It's not like we're 5-6 points clear and we've drawn a couple and we've lost a couple. We've drawn one game. It's cup finals already. People are lashing in on Bobby Firmino saying that his second goal was outrageous. We're going to get to all that. Harry says genuinely believe this team can go unbeaten in the league and complete the treble. All right. Maverick says Gomez had another excellent game. I will get through on a couple of players. I'm going to go through the goals and then we talk a couple of players if that's okay. It is like 3 at the back, says Liverpool versus everybody. How lively is that we aren't missing Fab? It's brilliant, but I do want to see a couple of them players back as quickly as possible. Just looking at the bench we had today, it was a little bit light for me. Carl Duff says easily forgotten, but what a great first half Robbo had. He's just a machine, that fella. But look, it's Brendy Rogers just praising the Reds. Wonderful, warm human being, says not Red. Liverpool versus everybody. Gav, the humble one. I don't know what that's about, but I am quite humble.
Maybe clap.
I will. So we get the goal. Mane has a good chance very soon after make it 2. Schmeichel makes a decent save. Mane probably should have scored, but it's a decent save. Second half though, and Keith, I'll come to you first. If the first half was intensity and intent, the second half was, I think we showed the gap. I think we absolutely ruthless. Showed the gap, didn't we?
It's ruthless. I mean, to be honest, part of me at halftime was thinking, and this is where the mentality comes in now of Liverpool, because we all get nervous. The players get nervous. They're probably, you'd be forgiven for sitting there thinking we've missed 3 or 4 gilt-edged chances. We've got to go back out, and if we get caught once and they break a man's lightning, it's back to square one. Then things become a little bit nervous. But no, lads put their foot in the ball. Honestly, Keita, in fairness to him, he's obviously earned Klopp's trust because he's putting his foot on the ball like nobody else, looking for that killer pass, and not giving it away. I mean, my criticism of it is he gave a lot of balls away looking for $1 million passes. My God, he understands now the value of possession. You forget he's 24 years of age, and I think that's the difference. We've got 11 players on the park now who value possession. That it just doesn't get turned over. That's not luck. That's something that you drill into people. And that's why the likes of Shaqiri doesn't feature as much as they're an ace in the hole. You've got to value possession in this team, and that for me was the second half. Value possession, turn it over. Deep in your own half. Be brave. Be the honest factor. Take it in the areas where it's a little bit difficult. Find your man and get beyond. That seems to be what we're doing, and we're doing it bravely. That's a lot of people think bravery is putting your foot through somebody and going in hard. No. Bravery is about taking risks, calculated risks, and making sure that you're 99 passes out of 100, like the Xavis and the Iniestas of this world. That's how Barcelona blew people away. That's what we're doing now.
Yeah, we absolutely are. Kev O'Sullivan says since 2018, August 2018, Trent has 20 assists, 3 more than anybody else, and Andy Robertson is 4th on the list. We're trying to find out who's 2nd and 3rd. Carl Duff has inquired about that. I'm sure Kev will get back to us. Sorry, Ryan Fraser. Andy Robertson is 3rd. Hazard is 4th. So there you go.
And De Bruyne has been injured a lot. I think he would figure.
That's his own fault. It's nothing to do with us.
Fuck him.
Max Brill says
second
half completely in control. Thought Leicester would have changed it up and had a go, to be honest. That's the problem you have with Leicester. I don't know if they can, because their focal point, if you take Vardy out, you're putting Iheanacho in. And Iheanacho, although he's a talented young enough footballer, he's not what Jamie Vardy is.
Listen, he's not going to live with what we have at the back. They got rid of the one player for me that could have changed it for them. That Ozaki, remember the Japanese player?
Yeah.
For me, when the championship winning season, the Premier League winning season, when he came on, changed games completely.
Absolutely.
Cannot understand getting rid of him.
Or not bringing in someone very similar. Iheanacho's not that man. But
no.
A lot of people want to get onto this, and it's the 3rd goal. And Keith, I love this goal because Firmino goes out, he's walking, he gets it, he turns, think he's going to lose it, he doesn't, he gets it out wide, and he makes his way into the box. Again, fizzed across by Alexander-Arnold, but the first touch he kills, and then he just slots the top bins. A brilliant goal, Keith. Unreal,
and it's great to see it with Bobby, because Bobby is such an important player in our squad, our team. I said it the other night again on the pod, he makes everything happen. And when Bobby ticks, we tick. And maybe it's no coincidence that, maybe he hasn't been on top form scoring goals and we've been winning 1-0, 2-1. When Bobby's like he is tonight, the goals will flow, because he was absolutely sensational.
Yeah, no.
Sensational tonight.
It was just one of those. And I said it to somebody, I think I might have been on a podcast just before Christmas. I said if we can get Firmino on the half turn in this game, we're in business. And he did get a lot of that. And what he done was just fed Mane then and fed other players around him. And you could see it was so... so before, towards the end of the game, it was so nonchalant the way they were doing it. Even Origi was joining in and just little touches around corners and stuff like that,
But that's the confidence in the squad now. That's what Klopp has instilled there.
Oh yeah,
they
absolutely
step in, and it's it's unbelievable, the transformation in a lot of them players. As you mentioned, Origi there 2 years ago, dead weight, no use to anyone. Now he's coming in, and he's he's as important part of the unit of the forwards as anyone else.
Yeah, no,
it's coming.
Everyone is just gelling all the time. There's a couple of comments there. I forget the guy's name's gone off. I think it was Eric, and he was saying that the way we snuffed out all balls to their fullbacks, we just snuffed that out. Our midfield just snuffed out all service to their fullbacks, and it killed them, making them go inside, and then we just hit them. Let me see. What have we got? Avo says, like you said the other day, Gav, it's a different team in the second half. Klopp sees where we can open the opposition up. I think he switched that over a little bit. Today, where he went, this is what we can do against these. We're going to go from the start, give them no sort of encouragement, and that's where we're going to do it. Lads, Peter, the 4th goal. So it's 3-0. We've got. Oh, sorry, I've completely skipped the penalty by Milner, but it's a penalty, and it's definitely a penalty, and it happens. But
what a penalty!
Yeah,
as always.
No messing about. But the 4th one. So while on top, Leicester are losing their heads a little bit, and then it's just literally one pass, another pass. Mane's away, and he's not even looking. There goes Trent, and I have to say, when he struck that in the bottom corner, people that say Gerrard, for me, I had David Beckham written all
Yeah,
fucking
there
over
was
it.
a long Z arrowing into that bottom corner from the moment he pulled his foot back. I mean, it's effortless, which is why I would compare him to Beckham. It's very, very effortless. It's almost like, this is going on target. It's not putting. It doesn't look like an effort. For me, though, the most impressive thing is the run and how automatic everything is. The inevitability of when Sadio Mane gets on the ball. I don't even think he looks to the side. He just knows he's going to be there
Oh yeah.
because they work on this day in, day
Oh,
out. There's
when he
no
turns on that, Peter, for me, he's thinking,
Mm,
I've only one fella in front of me here. You're
mm.
guaranteed this fella is absolutely lacing up the other side of me.
Exactly. But think about that's the. I mean, what minute was that? They're talking about 15 minutes to go. You're talking about a 60, 70-yard burst.
Hmm?
People talk about being exhausted from being away. Forget
Yeah,
about it, mate.
yeah,
Forget about it. This
unbelievable.
is a natural athlete, and cost nothing. That's what
Yeah,
I love. Manchester City go and spend 200 million quid, on fullbacks. Don't
yeah.
quite get it right. You
Yeah.
see a couple of them not behaving themselves, a couple of them not fit.
And we've
Injury prone.
a lad knocking around Stanley Park, just
A
kicking the
young,
ball, going, I can
exactly,
do that.
a young lad from West Derby showing them all up, and then the other fella on the other side, we get for 8 million quid part exchange. You might as well say for a fella that wasn't quite up to the task at Liverpool. I mean, it's just
It's superb
levels.
business. Somebody says there that Paul Senior on the Anfield Rap wrote off Bobby Firmino last week. I listened to it. He didn't write him off. He just said he may need to step it up a little bit. He hasn't been as good as he was. Probably a fair point. I didn't feel that. I thought he was contributing to the team in other ways, but that's the way it goes.
In fairness to Paul did row back on that as well.
Oh no, we wrote back and said, look, I'm more than happy to be proven wrong. I don't think he was proven wrong. I think what he was saying was, there is the level that he's at.
Let's put to bed another myth as well. You got number 9 in your back. People expect 25 goals. Forget it. Modern football has changed. You got lads, chipping in with goals from wide positions, from deep positions, from full back. The game has changed. You've got to be a pivot. You've got to be an athlete. You've got to be smart. I mean, I would expect more assists and more goal involvement than goals from a player like Bobby Firmino. For example, Harry Kane had 4 this morning against Brighton, 4 2v3 situations with Dele Alli screaming down his right and left hand side in each situation. Never played him the ball once. Harry Kane will get more goals, but the goals he gets will cost Spurs results.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And this is the thing that they don't
100%.
get. Spurs fans will always turn around and say, oh, he gets 30 goals. Yeah, but how many of those goals does he get in a 4-2 loss or a 2-1 loss? His stats personally look great, but you look at the table, it's not too healthy. So it's all about intelligence. And as much as I rate Kane as a finisher, I prefer to have an intelligent contributor to games of football like Bobby Firmino.
Yeah, no.
But everything with Spurs goes through Kane, and if Kane isn't on form and scored, then Spurs are fucked. Whereas with Liverpool, you've got Firmino, you've got Salah, you've got Mane, you've goals all over, you've Trent, you've goals all over the place. Spurs are over-reliant on Harry Kane. And you have cabbages like Danny Murphy coming out saying, if you replace Bobby Firmino with Harry Kane, Liverpool will be unstoppable. Well, Liverpool are unstoppable as it is, and we don't need Harry Kane because
you'd have to adapt Harry Kane's game to the way Liverpool play, and I don't know if he's got the energy, to be honest with you, for that. It's not even the will. At professional level, in fairness, everybody has will, or the brains. As I said, I seen Dele Alli tearing up his right and left hand side, and he doesn't react. He just goes into a little tunnel. And don't get me wrong, that will get you goals, but it will not get you trophies. And that's the thing about Liverpool. Firmino was thinking, how are we going to score here? Whereas Harry Kane is constantly thinking, how am I going to score? It's all about him. The Golden Boot at the World Cup, it's all about him. It's all about him. And that's fine if that's what you want, but nobody's going to give you a parade for a Golden Boot. Trust me, this is about, we are going to wave at these. And and let's you're never going to know who's going to score first and last. It's just going to be wow, because we're coming at them making the correct decisions in the final third, which for me Harry Kane doesn't do enough of.
Yeah, people. Mick asked there, do you think Klopp will do with regards to the FA Cup? Do you think he'll bin it off and look at the Champions League? I'm not bothered about either of them. Somebody does say beat Everton and then knock the FA Cup on the head. I'm absolutely up for that. Grizz says, hi Gav, He says, all booked for May. I'll see you there. Yeah, you will see me there, Grizz. We're all booked for May to go to Liverpool and turn the
Good
place
lad,
upside
Grizz.
down. Let me see. We all see Gomez as an excellent centre-back. Is Hoover ready, or do we need a full-back for rotation, asked Eric. I think that question is one probably for the summer. I don't think he's going to do anything in January with regards to the full-back positions. No. I think he'll go with what he has. But look, Avi Hunter says, obliterating the whole Premiership. Let me see. It's a 4-0 win. We've heard Rodgers has called us, has complimented us. Schmeichel has called us, the best team around and stuff like that. There was before I want to talk about the games left. Not this year because it's only one at Sheffield United. Sorry, it's Wolves and then Sheffield United on the 2nd of January. But before we get on to that, man of the match, and I know this is a difficult one, but Peter,
Alexander-Arnold.
Peter, I'll go to you first. Go.
Alexander-Arnold, beyond a shadow of a doubt. As I said, you're playing right back and you're contributing 2 assists and a goal yourself. As much as I thought Keita was excellent, thought Firmino was excellent, those lads are unlucky. But, I mean, this is 10 out of 10 stuff from a 21-year-old right back who's just come through the academy. You're witnessing the beginning of greatness. I mean, how foolish does Gareth Southgate now look for preferring Kieran Trippier and whoever else to Trent Alexander-Arnold? This is a guy that you can change the way you play based on the way he plays. That's generational stuff.
Yeah. I think he walks, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to probably shot down. I think he walks into any football team on the planet. And I'm going to say that
any elite team, he walks into.
Any team. You can play for anyone.
Why not? Why not? Exactly.
I'm struggling to think of a fullback that there was a lot thrown at him with regards to, we can't defend. He gets caught out of position and stuff like that, right? At 20 years of age.
Yeah, but that's for the shitty team that are always on the back foot.
Right.
That's for the team that's on the back foot. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's gone to Man United.
Oh, no, listen.
And they're all screaming themselves that he's the best right back in the world. They're all having a shit because he got an assist today.
No, for the tour time. Let's put another myth to bed. This tackling myth. And you're not going to like what I have to say. I've said this before. Javier Mascherano was one of the most overrated players we've ever had. He spent more time in his arse than I've seen any other player because his timing, his passing was awful. His second touch was a tackle. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because Manchester United are under so much pressure from their poor transitional play, whether it's Fred or maybe Pogba when he plays, giving the ball away. Wan-Bissaka, he looks to tackle. That's what he loves. Stay on your feet, read the game. And there's only a few months between him and Trent, so youth is not an excuse. But if your stats to defend a player is he's fantastic in a tackle, I would say to you, you're doing something wrong. At a club like Manchester United, club like Liverpool, club like Manchester City, tackling stats should be what the hell are we doing wrong that he has to be in 12 challenges a game?
Yeah.
So let's put that myth to bed. Look at Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk tonight stood up against Jamie Vardy in the couple of times that he had to. I don't think he was on his backside once. That's the mark of a fantastic defender. Paul McGrath was the master of it. He didn't need to tackle.
We're all of probably the same generation. And growing up, you look at Paul McGrath.
Way older than me.
Older looking. Paul McGrath, Franco Blazy, never got their shorts dirty because they were never on the ground.
Well, let's put this myth, this Wan-Bissaka myth, to bed. Sorry to disappoint any Manchester United fans that might be listening to us, and I know that they do. But this tackle stat, I'd be ashamed of that. I wouldn't be, he won 12. I mean, the fact that he has to.
Well, in fairness, if you look at it, he is winning a lot of tackles, so he is defensively doing well. But that's probably a reflection of the team he's in. So, but what I'm saying to you is going back to Trent, and you've clearly made a man of the match, and I find it hard to put an argument up against it. But like someone mentions there, Kimmich, who's with Bayern Munich, he says he's pure elite. But I'm just looking at this player now, and I'm thinking to myself, if Trent Alexander-Arnold gets dribbled past once in a game, there's a massive thing made of it. That's how much he's improved defensively, right? His positioning sense, very rarely you get in behind him and to get a chance on goal, but getting him in behind him. Going forward, passing, look, you don't need to go on about his passing. His crossing, his assists today. Then he decides 80 odd minutes in that we're 3-0 up, we're cruising, but hold on, there's a chance here and I'm going to go and score. Yeah. For me, he walks into any football side on the planet, and I would challenge anybody to give me a right back that's better than him at the moment, and I'll put it out there. And if you're a Liverpool fan, if there's a City fan there watching United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, whoever you want,
None of them.
he walks into anyone, and I'll tell you why, because all elite clubs want a fullback like him. All right,
exactly.
And I'll put it to you this
And
way:
that's it.
if
The
he
game
becomes
moves on.
if he becomes available tomorrow, just for argument's sake, and Wan-Bissaka becomes available for argument's sake, right? You'd put him up there, and I don't know, pick 2 or 3 other right backs in your own head. I can guarantee if you were to put them in list 1 to 5, that any elite club in this world wants because the quality of football they play, they have the most of the ball and they're attacking the majority of the time. Trent Alexander-Arnold is number 1 on that list, and if he's not, the chances are you have Steve Walsh as your scout, and he's ruining your club like he tried to ruin everything.
Let me say something to you. Imagine running a game from right back.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's running football matches from right back. I mean, that's incredible. It's incredible. That, for me, like I said to you, anytime he's available, it's, I know there's an awful lot of other players involved, and it's the way we move in transitional phase. But even more so than Robertson, he's the go-to. It's phenomenal. He's running games from right back.
Absolutely.
Ridiculous.
Keith, are you going to cause a row and give me another name other than Trent?
I mean, look, we could pick a name out of a hat tonight. Honestly, I thought we were that good, but Trent was just on another level. And, further to that conversation, that there is no one that can touch him. Joshua Kimmich, great player. He's a very versatile player, can play in multiple positions. He would not get in our team. There's no other right back that get in our team.
He's probably up there because of his versatility rather than his absolute quality from that position.
Look, he is a good player, but Trent has it all. He's athletic. He can tackle, he can defend, he can attack, he can cross, he can shoot. You name it, this fella can. And not only can he cross, right? Crossing is all well and good. Gary Neville could cross a ball. Beckham would cross. I'm not diminishing Beckham here, but when Trent puts balls in, the Firmino goal in Qatar, when he just slid it in the pass, there was a couple tonight when he got to the byline and he just fizzed them across.
Yeah.
These aren't hitting hopes. These are like precision passes from the wing. It's not crossing even nearly. It's passing. It's unreal.
And he's very calm about it. Yeah, you're right. It's all calm, and he's just different levels.
To me, it feels like when he's in the position, like say for that Firmino third goal, right? It's like everything's going 100. You know the way they always said about good strikers, like Michael Owen would say, Robbie Fowler, Shearer. Go back through them all. Name a really, really top striker, Premier League. Van Basten, any of these, right? And they always said the game could be going 100 miles an hour, and when I got in that position where I knew I was 1-on-1 or I had a chance, everything slowed down. I was so calm in what I was doing, and I was looking where I wanted to put it, even though I had a millisecond to make that decision. That's what he looks like to me when it comes for Firmino's goal. Now, people will say he slashed that across goal. Trust me, he didn't. Because if he slashes that across goal, the chances are, the commentator saying, he was caught in 2 minds between a shot and a cross, and it ended up being neither. And that's what happens with a lot of players. He puts that at pace to Firmino. One, to get so nobody can get in the way of it, because there's probably an avenue where he can put it there, and he has to hit at that pace. And two, knowing there's that much pace in that Firmino just gets the right touch. He's stopping it dead. It's not bouncing off him. Whereas if you try bounce a ball across him, he could misjudge it. Across the floor like that, people think it's hard. It's a hard skill. It actually makes it easier for the striker, because he knows, just get me in step on that, and that's dead on the ground, and then I'm ready to do what I'm doing. That's how good he is. My man of the match, it is Trent Alexander-Arnold. There's no shadow of a doubt about it. But for me, looking through the side, Alisson had nothing to do. Robertson was really good, really solid. Van Dijk is Van Dijk. Gomez, I just love him at centre half, and it's, as I've said, it's fallen well for him. And seeing him just growing that little bit all the time, it's going to make it very hard to take him out of the team. And if we continue winning, you don't. Midfield, I thought Henderson was excellent. As someone mentioned there, his range of passing, absolutely brilliant. And he should get credit for it. Wijnaldum, really, really good. Keita has stepped up again and looks to be progressing. The front three were a torment all night.
Really, and no one is hurting with Fabinho.
No, and you know something? I'm thinking him in my head, because I'm thinking, let's get him back. Let's get him back, and let's get the likes of Matip. And I'm not saying get him back and all them into the team, but if you can, no disrespect to Curtis Jones and the other lad's name, Nico Williams. No disrespect to them, but if you can replace those two with, Fabinho and a Lovren or Matip. It just makes your bench stronger, and that's what we need as it goes on. But a brilliant team performance. Lads, before we go, we have people can throw in random questions, by the way. We've a couple of minutes left. You want to throw them in, it's Christmas. You can do what you like. But before we go, we have Wolves at home on the 29th, and we have Sheffield United at home on the 2nd. That all leads up to the rival of Minamino, and then Everton in the Cup. But someone mentioned there earlier how someone mentioned earlier, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Someone mentioned earlier that Wolves have to play now tomorrow against Man City at home, and then less
and they'll
than
be
48
chasing
hours,
the ball for 90 minutes.
They
They'll
have
be
to come
chasing
to
the
us.
ball.
How well has that fallen for us? What way do you see these two games going, Peter?
It's completely turned around now. People were worried about our December. As you quite rightly say, Wolves will chase the ball now for 90 minutes tomorrow, unless something freakish happens. They'll be tired legs against us. I'm looking forward to playing against them. I fancy, and as much as I rate Wolves, I really do think they're physical. They do the dark stuff. They get men behind the ball, and they have a couple of really talented players. I really like that Jota. I love the Portuguese sitting player. Can't remember his name. Love him. I think he's Moutinho. I think he's absolutely special. He'll give us problems, but I think they might be worn out. They might make changes against City, thinking that it's a free swing.
No, I think it goes the
I
other way.
think they look at that. Yeah, they look at City and they think, what's the easier of these
Let's beat them. Yeah, let's beat them.
It's not only that; it's a home game. So I think instead of rotating and going out and nearly handing City a victory at your stadium, they put it all on it for their own fans, and then you might see a rotation for us.
And they have a good record against City.
They have a very good record against City.
They'll be afraid of City. They'll look at that and they'll be like, right, what can we do here? But again, that's just shown the progression that we've made in the space of 6 months, let's say, because look, we're blowing everyone away now. 6 months ago, City were the favourites for this league. It wasn't Liverpool.
No.
Do you know what I mean? No one was expecting us to be where we are and City to be where they are. At the moment, we don't have a rival. Our rival is the fucking record books.
Our rival is our own mentality.
That's who we're up against.
Yeah.
We are not up against another team here at the moment. And to think that at this stage of the season, lads, it's absolutely
with a game in hand. With a game in hand.
I'm going to say now that's probably the best ever start in the Premier League.
Oh,
because I remember Chelsea going about 120, played 20, 118, drew one, lost one.
2004.
So I think we probably need a win to probably do that. Sorry, Mark says Wolves will target the City game more. He thinks than the Liverpool one. They'll hit the home game. Let me see. Dylan says, "Hey lads, great pod as ever. Up the Reds. Random question: is post Christmas munch turkey sandwich or bubble and squeak?"
Sambo all day, every day.
What's bubble and squeak?
It's very exactly. It's very English.
Yeah. No, it's not very English. I used to have that bit of brown sauce, and it's nice. Yeah.
Stick with the turkey, mate. Definitely.
Easier, cleaner.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, turkey ham stuffing last night on batch bread with loads of butter.
Batch. I miss batch. That's what I miss about living in Dublin the most.
The batch bread last night was sensational. Look, let me see. Northred says he has to say that everyone's sounding decidedly excited. You want to be. This team is, regardless of what happens between now and the end of the season, this team is special. That's it. Mick says, great quote, our rival is the record books. It's our mentality. That's the record books. But it looks like it's fallen well for us the way City have to play tomorrow. Haven't seen what we've just done. Wolves going out and probably wanting to put on the big performance against City and then probably resting something against us on the 2nd of January. We have Sheffield United. That Sheffield United for me have looked a bit tired in the last couple of games, particularly.
They've been excellent. How good have they been?
They've been excellent, but they've tried to do a little bit of rotation and they still look a little bit tired for me. I watched a good bit of that game yesterday. Jer Cahill has the gold badge against Wolves. Apparently we're not allowed to wear it, which is absolutely outrageous considering that the Premier League and the FA wanted us to go off and win that competition, but now we're not allowed to wear it.
We're allowed it for Wolves. We're allowed it for one game.
But not beyond that.
Which is outrageous. It's ridiculous.
It's fucking disgraceful, but you know, what can you do? I'm surprised we even got one game, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't just let us wear it in the warm-up on our tracksuit or something, you know, that kind of way, because they're just a shower of pricks, let's be honest about it.
Exactly.
Let me see. Wolves might get the draw tomorrow, says Dave. LFC chats. We'll have to wait and see, but all we can do is do our job. And the way it is, we're sitting on even amount of games now with City. We're what is it, 14 points clear them. We have a game in hand over Leicester. We're 13 points clear them. That's all we need to do. Just keep matching them, because if we match them from here on in, there's no one topping us. But trust me, 13 more wins. We're the only team breaking 90 points. That's how it's going to happen. I can't say it enough. Look, I'm going to leave it there. I'd like to thank the two lads from the bottom of my heart, I suppose, for coming out on the 26th of December to have a chat about this. But look, if you don't want to talk about the Reds now, you might as well knock her on the head. Peter, thanks a million for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your Christmas, man.
A pleasure. Good to speak to you guys. Good to speak to you, Keith, Gav. Speak to you soon, mate.
Good stuff.
Take it easy.
Keith, thanks a million for running home from the pub and talking to us, and enjoy the rest of your Christmas.
No problem. I will indeed, Gav.
Good stuff.
Thank yourself.
We will be back on the 29th post Wolves to have a chat. We will be back on the 2nd then post Sheffield United, and then we get back into our normal schedule as always. Always remember, if you're on YouTube and you like it, share it. I don't know how you share YouTube, but do it. You have all the technology. You've all got new phones up your man for Christmas. You know what I mean? You should be able to do that sort of stuff. But like the broadcast, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and as soon as we go live, it comes on there, or you can get it on your feed later on. If you're following us on Twitter, please share it as well. Follow us at LFC Day Trippers everywhere, all across all the platforms. We're there as well. That's been the FB4 Daily. Liverpool produced a Christmas time masterclass today away to Leicester City. 13 points is the lead, 13 more wins. Nobody's stopping this team, trust me. Over and out.